Hi everyone, so today we're going to talk about your dark side, your shadow self, your guile to your able. Basically the side of you which you would rather suppress, hide and even suffocate instead of confronting it, deal with it and finally seek freedom from the wrong assumption that your dark side is always your bad side. Because honestly, sometimes your darker aspects in life hold the key to your unique qualities as a person, and they might have been sent to the dark prison of your psyche for whatever reason. And now you find it very difficult and sometimes even impossible to retrieve these qualities back to your consciousness because they are now part of your unconscious, and use them to your benefit, use them for your growth as a person. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that there aren't things, there are indeed things in life, delicate things in life that you need to deal with a bit differently, but even for those, it's so much better to acknowledge, accept, and then use these things to build that strength within you for your healing and then become whole again. Because it is so much better to be victorious over your troubles than to stay forever a victim of your circumstances, forever at the mercy of your emotions, and even worse, your suppressed emotions that are ruling your life from the dark room of your unconscious. And in this video, we will talk about how you can take advantage and utilize your darker aspects to build a strong mindset that is able to look beyond the victimhood and finally master the art of converting your troubles to your gains. Sounds amazing. But before we start, if you are not already subscribed to this channel, here on this channel I talk about how you can find your passion and go after it at any age, how you can find balance even at the most difficult times in your life, and how you can be happy with the things and the people you already have surrounding you. So if you're interested, make sure to click the subscribe button and the notification bell so you don't miss any of my videos. Also, don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up to spread the message. Quick reminder, my book, One Answer to Life's 1 Million Questions, is now available on ebook and paperback formats on Amazon. This book is a contemporary to this channel, so if you enjoy this channel and get some value out of the contents of this channel, then I highly recommend you check it out. I'll leave the link down below in the description box if you are interested. Now, let's get to today's topic. So, number one is shadow work. So, when your ego is not accepting of certain aspects of your personality, then it casts a shadow over them. Literally, and eventually you become unconscious or unaware of them or reject them, and they're actively suppressed in order to save the image that you have built for yourself over the years. But obviously this is dangerous because the shadow self, although not addressed and not acknowledged, it's always subtly influencing our thoughts, our emotions and our actions. It then becomes apparent that the only way would be for us to integrate this shadow self in order to gain more awareness of ourselves and gain more clarity of why we are the way we are and why we behave the way we behave. So it's really important to do shadow work, and it becomes a lot easier to do shadow work when we are not obsessed about preserving that image, when we are not too worried about protecting that image we are portraying to the outside world and sometimes even to ourselves. And when we can admit that we might not be perfect and that there may be things in our lives that we need to work on, that we need to deal with. And with this kind of awareness, we can move to really looking deep into the issues of our lives, and we can move past that victimhood, we can move past our experiences. Now we can move into our healing journey where we're able to objectively look at our life, look at the events and circumstances and experiences of our lives without judgment and criticism. We have a different perspective. We have an open mind, and we are able to look at our lives as someone who's looking from the outside and be able to empathize and sympathize with ourselves. And this will be quite the interesting journey, because during this process, not only will we come across things that have contributed and shaped our behaviors, our thinking patterns, our emotions, and even our decisions, will come across these things, but we will also, simultaneously come across positive things, qualities that I talked about earlier, that for some reason were sent to the dark room of the psyche. It may be because, maybe you were good at something when you were younger. You tried something, you were interested, you were enthusiastic, and you had a passion for something. But maybe someone in your family or at school, or someone said to you that you shouldn't do this, that this, maybe they told you that this is not something to pursue, and you were discouraged. And because of that, as time goes by, this quality of yours, this talent or this ability, it was thrown back into that dark room, because you believed that person, you believed those people who told you that you shouldn't do this. And these are the things, this is a more light experience. There may be worse and harsh experiences that could lead to a person's, passion, interest to completely disappear from their awareness. Maybe because of the way they were told of, the way they were disciplined. It was in a way or in a setting that they couldn't defend or resist. And sadly, this becomes their own belief in their later years, as they will adopt this belief as their own and even protect it. And this is why it's very important to do shadow work, because you will find these aspects of yourself that were hidden from you, these strengths, talents, and abilities that you could retrieve back and use it to your benefit now. Use it to make your life a little better, and find that unique angle to yourself, that authenticity that was missing from your life. And this has the potential to transform, to revolutionize your entire existence, because you are operating from, this lack of sense of self. You were just floating around, you were living on the surface, you were just doing things just because other people are doing it, just because it's the norm, it's the standard. And you never had that authenticity, you never had that courage to be different, to do things differently, to move at your own pace, to have your own standards. And what shadow work will do for you is to remind you, sort of reveal to you the fact that you already have what it takes. You already have everything within you to do and achieve and be whatever you want. By showing you that the only reason why you have been lagging behind, why you have not been able to achieve the things you want, is only because of these beliefs that are buried deep down in your unconscious, and they're just ruling your life. They are the reasons behind your feelings, your emotions, your actions that have been destructive up to now. And that also the talents and abilities and these unique gifts that are bestowed upon you, that are actually bestowed upon each and every one of us. We have our own unique abilities, and this is happening only because they were sent back to that dark room, and unfortunately they are made to be suppressed, they are made to be imprisoned by these conditionings, by these programmings that happen out there. And once you realize this, once you truly become aware of this fact, you become powerful, you become unstoppable. And if you are interested in shadow work, I've put together some things you can do on your own to get you started. I'll leave the link down below in the description box. It's completely free, so check it out. So point number 2 is to recognize the assignment. I saw this post on social media the other day which says, maybe you were given this mountain so you can show that it can be moved. Something like that. And it's true. Maybe you were given this particular challenge or difficulty so you can show others that it can be overcome, that you can actually do something about it and rise above these problems. So you have to figure out what's your mountain. Is it your luck or your lack? Is it your failures, your mistakes, or is it even your own mind giving you nightmares even during the day? It could be anything. It could be these unique experiences in life that can lead you to a completely different, destination. And you have to allow this. You have to see things for what they are instead of always complaining that they're there to only make your life miserable, to only make things worse. And you can only make things worse for yourself by complaining and not being able to see that seed of opportunity or, a lesson, anything that's leading you up to your destination. And it's up to you to figure this out. It's up to you to recognize that assignment, that unique assignment that's assigned to you.